ChatGPT has rolled out over 50 new features for real estate this year only. And 82% of agents are still using ChatGPT like a glorified Google search. And while you are asking it, write me a property description, smart agents are using AI to automatically value properties, predict market timing, and close deals 75% faster. And the difference is in understanding that ChatGPT is not just a writing tool, it's a complete business automation system that can handle everything from lead qualification to contract analysis. But here's the problem. Most real estate agents are leaving millions on the table because they do not know which AI model to use for what task. Here's what's actually happening right now. While 42% of real estate firms have adopted basic AI, only 8% are using the advanced applications that generate real money. Your competitors are not just getting better listings, they are running AI to identify undervalued properties before they hit the market. They automate the entire lead nurturing sequence and provide instant property valuations that used to take days. And the agents who figure this out in the next 90 days will dominate the markets. The ones who do not, they'll be competing on price, while AI-powered agents are competing on speed and precision. So in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step blueprint that's helping real estate professionals to generate an extra $2.5 million annually through strategic AI implementation. We will cover 15 untapped ChatGPT applications that most agents do not even know exist, when to use reasoning models versus task models for maximum ROI, and the specific prompts that will turn ChatGPT into your personal real estate analyst. But here's the key. I'm going to save the most powerful automation for the very end, the one that's actually helping agents to reduce the workload by 60% while increasing the transaction volume. So please make sure you watch all the way to the end, because the final strategy alone could transform how you do business forever. Look, let me make this super simple for you. Most real estate agents think ChatGPT is just another tool on their toolkit. But here is exactly what I've learned after working with businesses for the past 3 years. ChatGPT is not a tool. It's a complete business transformation system. The biggest mistake I see agents making, they are asking ChatGPT to write property descriptions when they should be asking it to analyze entire markets. It's essentially like using a Ferrari to deliver pizza. Sure, it works, but you're missing the whole point. So first, let's talk about choosing the right approach. There are two types of AI application in real estate, and understanding the difference will literally change how you do business. The first one is basic task automation. This is what 82% of agents are doing right now. They are using ChatGPT to write emails, create social media posts, and generate a listing description. And this is fine. It saves some time, but it's not moving the needle. And type number two is where the real money is being made. Strategic business intelligence. We're talking about AI that can predict market trends, that can identify undervalued properties, and automates the entire lead qualification process. And this is exactly what separates the agents making an extra $50,000 a year from those making an extra $500,000. And here's the thing, the tools are exactly the same. It's just how you use them. Now, before I show you the advanced stuff, let me give you some quick real talk about what's actually happening in the market right now. I've been analyzing the data, and here is what I found. 42% of real estate firms are using AI, but only 8% are using it for the applications that actually generate serious money. That means 34% of firms are stuck in what I call the content creation trap. They're spending hours getting ChatGPT to write better property descriptions when they could be using it to identify which properties will appreciate faster in the next 12 months. And look, I get it. When ChatGPT first came out, everyone was excited about the writing capabilities. But that's like being excited about a smartphone because it can make phone calls. You're missing 90% of what it can actually do. And the agents that are crushing it right now, I figured out how ChatGPT is not just about generating content and how it's about processing information at scale that was impossible before. For example, instead of manually researching comparable sales for hours, they are feeding ChatGPT market data and getting comprehensive property valuations in minutes. Instead of cold calling leads, they are using AI to qualify prospects before they even pick up the phone. But here's where most people get stuck. They don't know which type of AI to use for which task, and that's costing them serious money. All right, this is where things get really interesting. ChatGPT actually has different brains for different type of work, and most people have no idea this exists. Think of it like this. You wouldn't use the same approach to write a quick email as you would analyze a complex investment deal, right? Same principle applies to AI. There are two main types: reasoning models and task models. Task models are your workhorses. They are fast, they're efficient, and they're perfect for routine stuff. Stuff like property descriptions, email templates, social media posts, and the like. These are task model territory. You get your answer in seconds, and it's exactly what you need. But reasoning models, this is where the magic happens. These are the ones that actually think through complex problems step by step. We are talking about investment analysis, market timing decisions, the stuff that actually make or break a deal. Here's a real example. If you want the current market price for a 3-bedroom house in a specific neighborhood, a task model will give you that instantly. But if you want to know whether now is the right time to buy investment property in that area, considering interest rates, local development plans, and demographic trends, that's a reasoning model territory. And here's the key insight that most agents miss. Reasoning models cost about 10 times more per use. However, for a $500,000 property transaction, spending an extra few dollars on analysis that could save you $50,000 or make you an extra $20,000, that's the easiest ROI calculation you'll ever make. But the problem is, most agents are using task models for everything because they don't know the difference. It's essentially like trying to perform surgery with a butter knife. Technically possible, but you're not going to get the same result if you want. Now, let me show you what's really exciting. While everyone is focused on the basic stuff, there are these advanced applications that barely anyone is using. I'm talking about automated property valuation models that are 85% accurate, predictive analytics that can tell which neighborhoods will see the biggest price increases, market timing recommendations that help you advise clients on the perfect moments to buy or sell. And unfortunately, the adoption rate for these is less than 8%, which means if you implement even one of these, you will be immediately ahead of 92% of your competition. Let me give you a specific example. There's this application called dynamic pricing optimization. Basically, you feed ChatGPT information about a property, current market condition, recent sales, seasonal trends, and it gives you the real-time pricing recommendations. The property management companies that are using this are seeing 17.6% increases in operational efficiency. But here's the crazy part. The technology to do this has been available for months. Most agents just don't know it exists. Or take automated contract risk analysis. You upload a contract and AI reviews it for problematic clauses, identify potential legal issues, flags anything that could cause problems down the line. And this reduces legal review costs by 70% and prevents costly oversights. And the current adoption rate for this is only 3%. The opportunity here is massive. While your competitors are still manually reviewing contracts and guessing at property value, you could be operating with the precision of a data analyst in the speed of automation. All right, you're probably thinking, this sounds amazing, but where do I actually start? And look, I've made every mistake in the book when it comes to implementing AI in business. So let me save you the headaches I went through. Here's the thing. Most people try to do everything at once and end up doing nothing well. So I'm going to give you a simple 3-phase approach that actually works. Phase 1. Phase one is what I call the low-hanging fruit phase. This is where you start with the simple stuff that gives you immediate wins. We're talking about automating your property description, creating email templates, and maybe set up some basic lead qualification questions. It takes about 30 days to implement, and you immediately save 5 to 10 hours per week. And the second phase is the workflow enhancement. This is where you start getting into the more sophisticated stuff: dynamic pricing analysis, automated tenant screening, predictive maintenance scheduling. This phase takes about 3 to 6 months, but this is where you start seeing real return on investment. We are talking about 15 to 30% increases in efficiency. And phase three is what I call the strategic transformation phase. And this is the advanced stuff: predictive investment analytics, automated property valuations, comprehensive market timing analysis. This is the 9 to 18 month territory, but this is where you separate yourself from everyone else in your market. And here's the key: you do not move to the next phase until you've mastered the current one. I see too many people trying to jump straight to phase three and ending up frustrated because they skipped the fundamentals. The agents who are making serious money from AI, they followed the exact progression. Now, let me get tactical with you. I'm going to share some specific strategies that you can implement starting today. First, let's talk about lead qualification. Instead of spending hours on the phone with unqualified prospects, you can use ChatGPT to create qualification systems that does the work for you. Here's what you do. You create a series of questions that help identify serious buyers versus tire kickers. But instead of just asking generic questions, you use AI to analyze the responses and score them based on buying intent, financial capability, and timeline. For example, instead of asking, "Are you pre-approved for a mortgage?" you would ask, "What's your current housing situation and what's driving your decision to move?" Then you would feed that response to ChatGPT with specific prompts to analyze urgency, financial readiness, and decision-making authority. And as a result, you would spend your time only with prospects who are actually ready to buy, and your conversion rate goes through the roof. The second strategy would be around market analysis automation. This is where you can really start to look like a market expert to your clients. You take publicly available data, recent sales, demographic trends, development plans, economic indicators, and you feed it all to ChatGPT with specific analysis prompts. What you get back is a comprehensive market report that will normally take a team of analysts weeks to produce. Your clients see you as the agent who really understands the market, not just someone who can show them houses. And the third strategy, and this is a big one: automated property investment analysis. This is where you can start working with serious investors and commanding higher commissions. You create a system where you can input any property address, and ChatGPT analyzes cash flow potential, appreciation prospects, risk factors, optimal financing strategy, everything an investor needs to make a decision. The investors I work with tells me that this kind of analysis used to cost them thousands of dollars from consulting firms, and now they get it in minutes. Here is what I want you to understand. We are at this incredible moment in time where the technology exists to completely transform how real estate works, but most people haven't figured it out yet. It's essentially like being in 2007 and understanding that social media was going to change everything. The agent who implement these systems in the next 90 days are going to have an unsurmountable advantage. They're going to be faster, more accurate, and more valuable to the clients than agents who are still doing things the old way. But here's the thing: this window won't stay open forever. Right now, you can implement these strategies and immediately stand out in your market. But in 12 to 18 months, this is going to be table stakes. Everyone will be expected to operate at this level. So the question isn't whether you should learn this stuff. The question is whether you want to be ahead of the curve. I get it. Change is hard. Learning new systems takes time, but the alternative is watching your competitors serve clients faster and better while you are still manually doing things that could be automated. All right, so I promised you the most powerful strategy for the end. And here it is. It's what I call the AI-powered client experience system. Most agents think about AI as something that helps them work faster, but the real opportunity is using AI to create an experience for your clients that no human agent could possibly provide manually. And here is what I mean. Imagine a client calls you about a property they saw online. Instead of saying, "Let me get back to you," you immediately pull up a comprehensive analysis, comparable sales, neighborhood trends, investment potential, financing options, even predictive analysis of how the property value might change over the next 5 years. And all of this happens in real time while you are on the phone with them. Or imagine sending your clients weekly market updates that's specifically tailored to their interests, their budget, and their timeline. Not generic market reports, but personalized intelligence that helps them make better decisions. And this is not just about being more efficient. This is about providing a level of service that positions you as indispensable. Your clients do not just see you as someone we can show them houses. They see you as their personal real estate intelligence system. And when you can provide that level of value, price becomes irrelevant. You are not competing on commission rates anymore. You are competing on the quality of insight and the service you provide. The agents who figure this out do not just make more money. They build businesses that are completely recession-proof because they are providing value that cannot be commoditized. I've been in business for almost 20 years, and I've seen a lot of trends come and go. But this is not a trend. This is a fundamental shift of how business gets done. The question is not whether AI is going to change real estate. It already has. The question is whether you are going to be part of that change or get left behind by it. If you found this valuable, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be sharing more specific strategies and actual implementation guides in upcoming videos. And if you're serious about implementing AI in your business, whether in your real estate or any other industry, I'd love to help you build these systems. Check the link in the description to learn more about how we can work together. Until next time, stop working harder and start working smarter.